Morning. So from a Randy Peterson. They've been trying to narrow their niche and hone in on the ideal client and working through your free material. It's good to
Oh,
hear.
good.
On marketingforhippies.com. So they agree with the paraphrase statement, you're most qualified to help the old version of you who
Mm.
needed what you now offer. Nice sentiment. So their dilemma is that they're still a very eclectic person. Say they're as at home on a gun range as they are in a construction site and a yoga studio and watching a ballet performance.
Mm.
Their service is in person and remote frequency medicine, appeals to a wide range of people. And people they tell about it, from guys they do custom home construction with, to people who, so those people dealing with chronic pain, through to people to friends in psychic development courses who want to clear their auric fields. They've had success with both types of clients. So they appreciate any insights you might have on this.
Got it. Okay, so they help people with chronic pain. That's the basic idea.
So what they do is they say they do in-person and remote frequency medicine.
Hmm.
And these two groups, there's an
I see.
I think it's supposed to be illustrative of the eclectic nature of themselves and in the people that they help and if they find interested in it. So there's like a like that niching part of it is proving tricky for them because they have this disparate, I guess, or yeah, or broad kind of people who would like to work with and get great results with, from construction workers with chronic pain
Yeah.
through to people working with Akashic records and wanting to clear their auric fields to do better. There's not much overlap, I guess.
Well, so okay, but there's nothing written about what's the issue they want to help people with. We have the boat of this kind of frequency medicine. We've got some of the psychographics, but we don't have any issue.
Yes, yes, you got it.
Okay. So I would say there's a few things. One is if you pick a particular issue that you most want to help people with around this frequency stuff, that's one way to go. And that would immediately clarify this. I do frequency medicine for this particular issue. And I'll just say, for everyone, sometimes you get a modality and you think, but yeah, but this modality can just really help everybody with everything. It generally tunes up the body and it's so beneficial. Well, that may be true, it may not be true, but it just doesn't help the niching. And one of the ways you could do it is, so this person might say, okay, I want to work around frequency medicine around, let's just say chronic pain or something. And people who have it, this really helps a lot. That's something I dealt with. This frequency stuff helped me with that. So I'm going to focus on that. What it gives you the opportunity to do is become a bit of an expert on that topic. And you may find, oh, I'm going to bring in some other modalities. I'll bring in some supplements or some other exercises and tools, not just the one that maybe you used, and you may come up with a combination of stuff. So that's always possible. You can have a lot of supplementary things, and it gives you a chance to really develop an expertise. If you refuse, again, which it's your life, then the I think there's something interesting. I don't know if it's enough of a niche, but I wrote a blog post, marketingforhippies.com/oxymoronic, and it's about all these oxymoronic um, business names. Marketing for hippies is one. Marketing and hippies generally haven't gone together, and I brought them together. Or, I mean, there was like Zen Bitch Slap, or Buddhist Boot Camp, or Chocolate for Breakfast. There are all these funny names. And as soon as you hear it, there's some party that's like, how on earth did you, and why? Like, what is that about? How did you bring these two disparate things together? So, like newageredneck.com would be a really interesting thing. Like, what is this about? Uh, so that's something to consider, is if you are bridging these two different worlds of, like, I don't know, blue collar and indigo collar, whatever the hippies are, okay, then you could name that. You could just say, I do this frequency medicine, uh, for people who find themselves at the intersection of these two communities. I don't think that's strong enough itself, but it is an interesting thing. And if you combine that with a particular type of issue, you have something very fascinating. And it's like, hey, are you the kind of person who feels as at home on the gun range as you do at a ballet? Well, check it out. I do this kind of holistic medicine for people like you who are struggling with the issues you're struggling with. And because, people can go for, let's say, this kind of frequency medicine, there's a lot of options. Once you go down that rabbit hole and you discover all the different things and the Rife machines and the biofeedback and there's a whole world there. And you can hire anybody. But you get down to the harbor, you say, okay, I want to do the frequency medicine stuff. And you go down to the harbor on island A to go to island B where your problem solved. You say, tell me where all the frequency medicine boats are. And they point you to this part of the harbor where there's like 1,000 boats. Now, which one are you going to get on? And well, price will be part of it, but a lot of it will be who's the captain of the boat. Because you're like, well, they all go there, but this captain's awesome. I really like their vibe. And so they may choose you just because of that. They like your vibe, they like what you're into. They feel more at home with you, so they're just going to work with you. And so I still think there needs to be some specificity on the issue. Otherwise, we just have a more everybody. So I would consider honing it. And for everyone, generally, there are 4 tracks that it's going to fit in. It's health, relationships, money, or God. Those are the 4 tracks that most human symptoms or cravings fall into. And so just even making a decision on which track am I primarily going to be in helps. Now, if you say health, okay, right, then there's different types of health issues. And when people get stuck, I would usually recommend them to go back to that experience of, okay, so you overcame something. This stuff helped you. What did it help you with? What's the thing you know best? And, or, I mean, is there something you just love helping clients with in particular? Like, oh man, when they come in with this stuff, I just, I feel really passionate about it, but I also feel very competent about it. And you can focus on that. And the last thought is, as you look out at the sort of frequency medicine world, just what's missing? What isn't there? What's not around that could be that you think people might actually be interested in if it was there, and you can offer that. So hard to say more without having more details, but those are some initial thoughts.
Wonderful. You remind me of after a bunch of puttering sessions with you, and then reinforced by, I think, a post from George Cow saying, don't niche yourself, niche your offers. And the way that I interpreted all of that together was, I don't have to pick the perfect niche. I just have to pick something I'm interested in to get started that will satisfy like what you just described. And then I get some experience of all the tools and all the the philosophy and the teaching and stuff like this around the ethical marketing, so that I can actually get some experience of success around him and then figure it out from there. Yeah. So I didn't have to do, although it's not the perfect niche for me, the one I've chosen, I think it is still a really good niche. And so again, I don't have to do it for, I can do a bit like this. If I can get good at that, like you said, do it for 6 months. Do it for 6 months, get good at this thing here, and then consider where you are then. So yeah, there's room perhaps for.
Yeah, it does. Amen. Yeah, you can date your niche. You don't have to marry it. You don't have to. And you might say, okay, I'm going to try and offer on this issue. I'm going to do one on this issue. I'm going to do one on this. Very, very limited. I mean, you could say, I'm going to do, hey, everyone, I'm offering 10 sessions of this frequency medicine to help people with rare blood conditions, or to help people with migraines, or to help people with anxiety. You could just do 10 and see how does it feel? Do you like it? What are the results for people? You could do a little beta test, and you might find one of them is like, oh man, this is the best. This is the thing I want to do. But in the beginning, it's a good idea to experiment, to try a lot of things, and see which ones you like in the real world with real people. I mean, I remember a friend of mine was a yoga teacher, and she said, oh, I want to teach, do kids yoga. That's the niche. And the next day she messaged me, is like, I just thought it through. I don't want that at all. Like I can do it once a week. But she realized she was going to snap. like that was not a good time for her. It was just, I don't know, somehow the idea got in her head. Maybe she saw somebody with a successful business doing it and got excited, but wasn't what she wanted. And it's worth thinking these things through. Um, and if you have a niche, if you find one that you think, I'm really excited about it, but I'm not sure this is viable. I'm not sure it's a workable niche. I'm not sure there's enough people out there. Amanda Jane, who's in our membership, she's got this great idea of doing the 100 project. Do something 100, a little microservice that you could do, 100 times. That would take you, I don't know, 5 to 20 minutes per time. And you just put it out there and you say, I'm offering 100 of these, they're free. And I'm just sort of testing this out. And in doing that, you connect with a lot of people, you get a lot of buzz, you are probably going to get some clients out of it, and you're going to learn a lot about that niche and whether it's workable in the marketplace, but also whether it's enjoyable for you. So yeah, try a lot of things in small ways, and that might even be, I just want to do the interviews we were talking about earlier. I want to do some client interviews to talk with people who are struggling with this to see if it lights me up. And again, generally, I would go back to what did I struggle with? Because that's probably a clue as to the direction you should go.
Wonderful. Thank you.